I was feeling like a menace today. So I wrote a 1,400 word fanfic about my friend Totoro. Just for giggles. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? And I wrote it like in an hour or so. Just sat down and banged out a My Friend Totoro fanfic just for giggles. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize I had that in me. It's fun writing in other universes. I wrote about a grown up Mai who had a daughter named Suki. Because Suki is named after moon, right? Get it? But Mai has a mental illness. Um, and she needs a rest at the house. And so basically like this secluded house that they're at, the one that she grew up in, the one that's been in the family for years. So uh yeah, so she has like, I don't specifically come out and say it, but she has basically like schizophrenia or something, or some kind of like mental illness, and she needs a rest, and she has just like some mental illness. Um and so Suki is worried about doing imaginative play because she is worried that it'll make her crazy like her mom. And so there's a lot of like trauma associated with like, you know, being a child of someone who has a mental illness, um, being afraid of being like the parent, um, of that if you do things that are like the parent, that you'll be like, you know, if you do imagine play, it'll be like, I have the same thing. So, um, I wrote about that. I think that was kind of like my own fears of like having children too, and like passing that on to the next generation of like, because um I have bipolar disorder, and the idea of having children and passing on those genetics to the next generation, um it put me off from having kids because you didn't want to pass on mental illness to them. But there are a lot of like environmental factors that go into mental illness as well. So it's not just genetics. You are predisposed towards those things, but also, um, there are certain things that do go into that as well. Um, that if you take care of your body, get enough sleep, and um, take care of the environmental factors, you can reduce the amount of the prevalence of mental illness. But I know sometimes it's unavoidable. It is what it is.